Good morning, everybody. How's everybody's day going so far? I hope it is going well. I hope it's warmer than it is here. Right. Where were we? We do appear to be working. We are at the watchtower. Hey, Danny. Hello, Peanut, if you're there. How is that cute little cat? So, for the benefit of those who either don't remember or come across this later, yesterday saw us at the watchtower, where we spent the night, and came across ptarmigan, which all flew away. Which was irritating. Still, means we got something to look out for on the way back. If you notice any changes in the graphics, cold. Even though it's actually technically warm in here, my fingers are a bit cold. If you notice any changes in the graphics, I discovered that while I thought, and had been up until some undetermined point, been running with the graphics all set to max, for whatever reason I have determined that wasn't the case. In fact, I'm going to double check now just to make absolutely sure that this is all set to maximum with the exception of motion blur. That is correct. And advanced is all set. Yeah, this is what my standard settings were for ages, and then I checked today out of idle curiosity for reasons which completely escape me, and they weren't set to max, but now they are. So let us see what happens today.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Right, well, we're still alive. Do I have any food to eat? I do, but I don't need to eat it right now. And boy, is she overloading. I ought to drop off some of the water, actually. Yeah, that's a little excessive. Let's drop a couple of kilos off. Yeah, that didn't really help. What am I carrying that's so heavy? The perennial... Oh, yeah. Okay, let's drop off 3 kilograms of firewood, why don't we? And a hatchet. Don't need 2 hatchets here. That's a little better. Have I got anything which I don't technically need? No, technically I don't need a lot of things, but okay. I think I can, yeah, leave that. Anything else? No. All good. Right. Oh, now we can run if we have to. And to be honest with you, I don't notice a huge difference, although those mountains might be a bit more detailed. Because the draw distance was not fantastic, but I have since fixed that. Now, the temptation is to head for that. I'm not sure I can be bothered. I still need a rope. I'm hoping that there's a rope in the ravine still. Yes, I went swimming today, which meant a 3 a.m. live stream. My hands are still chilly. And this was where the ptarmigan were. One of them flew pretty much straight in my face. For technical purposes, if you're curious, on this particular computer, these graphic settings only use up about 50% of GPU utilization, which isn't bad. The game cannot be said to be graphically demanding at this point. And there was a ptarmigan. I heard a dog. Well, wolf. Even though wolves don't usually bark, I don't think. The puppies do, but the adults, as far as I'm aware, they do not. Yeah, barking like modern dogs do is, from what I understand, a puppy trait that has been kept in our wolf descendant companions. Okay. Ouch! You monster. Oh, well, that was... And, of course, an arrow. Not having a good start to the day. Oh my goodness. Would anybody else like to have a go at me? Well, at least I got my arrow back. Thank goodness for all the armor I'm wearing. How on earth did I get up here? Go. Yeah, this is already turning into not a very good day.
Sure getting cold.
Well, that is not the best start I've ever had to a day. I'm sure that Karen says something like, "Abandon hope, all ye who try to descend from here." I can't remember the last time I can remember the last time I got hurt so much, but not specifically. What next? The cougar? The moose?
It's a goddamn freezing.
How come she's so cold so quickly? And do I want to know? Why do you want to bet she lost something pretty vital? It actually does me very little good to check at this point. Because heading back to the cabin is now a priority. Yeah, those close range attacks will bring an end to your game in no time at all. I mean, look how much damage it did, and that's with me in bear skins, moose skins. You know, there's a fairly significant amount of armor there. And there was me thinking, okay, you know, maybe we'll just go to the ravine. And now, nope, now I want to get Astrid repaired and well again before we go doing anything adventurous. All right.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Right. Let's see what happened to us. Okay. Oh, right. Well, that didn't help. That needs fixing. That's all right. Those are okay. Those are decent. New. I mean, honestly, that's not a huge amount of damage. But to say that I am slightly perturbed is putting it mildly. Where did I put my rabbit skins? Nearest bear skin is back in Coastal Highway, but I should be alright. Yeah, I'm a mending expert. Who would have thunk it? Why aren't I an archery expert? Alright, so what are we going to do? Not much. We are going to read our book, on the grounds that I might as well. What am I doing? I don't know. Well, that's one less thing. Okay, I need bandages. And I need old man's beard. Because of course I do. Give her a treat after that, some pork and beans. Should have warmed it up, really, just to be kind. Two wolf attacks in rapid succession at point-blank range with very little time to do anything about it.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
I'm still mildly curious to know why she got so cold so fast. I can only assume it was really, really cold up on that hill. Well, my fear was that she had lost her boots. Or maybe it was simply that the cap was worn. So, Does anybody else want to have a go at me while I'm here? some point I am going to have to make another bow, because this one, it's quite usable, but I don't normally wait for them to get down to 0. I typically drop them somewhere useful if I ever need a emergency bow, so to speak. Hang on. Oh, Mainland Spring. I thought it said Highland Spring. I was going to say Highland Spring is in fact a brand name, but Mainland Spring. Okay.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Oh, I think you're complaining too much. Oh, mind you, having said that, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. According to my Twitch stream here, I have 80 followers. Only that would translate into views. Oh, hang on. I didn't mean to do that. There was me wondering whether I could go back up and hunt the ptarmigan up there. You know what? I've had it with ptarmigan. I am not going back for more. What I have will suffice. Oh, just out of, if anybody's curious, I did a bit of experimentation with Prologue Go way back in windowed mode, so that I could see if the resolution really made much difference. And the simple answer appears to be not a lot. The performance doesn't scale in a convincing fashion from, say, 3440 down to, get this, 1024 by 768. And when I ran at 1024 by 768, the graphics got quite a lot messed up, including the starting hut being flooded at one point. It was really bizarre. I hope for Windows users' sake that's a Linux problem rather than a game problem, but at some point I may have to hook up my large screen there just to see. I don't like doing it because it's a pain in the neck, but I can do it. I've got an HDMI slot open on my card. I could hook it up as a fourth monitor and see if that makes any difference. But I don't see that it would. I have a horrible suspicion that they're just not scaling their resolutions very well. I mean, there ought to be a massive difference between, say, 3440 by 1440 and, say, 1920 by 1080, but I'm not seeing a huge difference. There's a bit of a difference, but not massive. It's not a convincing difference. It's almost like they are... I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Well, we seem to have our condition back up to maximum. Yay! So, what do I want to take with me on the way back to the coastal highway? I will take the maple sticks. I don't think I need to take anything else. Do I want to take the moose skin? I don't think so. I don't really have much reason to use it, do I? Don't need any more wolf pelts. I have a sufficiency. Oh, I know one thing I do want to take. And that's those. And let's see, I've got more than enough cloth. Do I have... where's my stick? I have more than enough sticks. I think the number of sticks is excessive. I'll take the pot with me. Technically, I shouldn't really... I don't need the pot. Oh! Those need fixing. How come I missed that? Okay. That will probably make a bit of difference. Yep, I'm back up to 27 degrees. Protection's back up. Alright. Those need to be fixed. Those are good-ish. That needs a bear skin. So, am I going to head back now? Might as well, mightn't I?
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, I'm sure you can. I forgot to check for the moose. Well, at least we can go as far as the Carter hydroelectric dam. I can pick up extra food there in the moderate security that there's nothing in the ravine that's going to eat me. Wow, it is cold. In the game, that is. If I get attacked, and by which I mean... Oh. If I get attacked and bitten by another wolf, I am going to get just a wee bit tetchy, I think. Just a little bit. I mean, honestly, I think I've slaughtered everything between here and the Carter hydroelectric dam, but the game may have other plans. Is the game having a go at me for restoring my graphics options? Oh, you're kidding me. There's two of them. Great. Well, I suppose that's inevitable. Oh, good. That one had good sense. And this one's got some good sense. No hard feelings. Can't help but feel that maybe now is the time when the hidden enemy appears, you know, a Wendigo or Bigfoot or... Hello, Estonia! Oh, you're kidding. That didn't last long. You were supposed to be scared. Excuse me a second, Christoph. I need probably to shoot something. Oh, two somethings. Oh, no, 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 no. You do not want to do this. Okay, that one's got sense. This one. You really going to do this? It's interesting, you know. It didn't actually react, and I've seen this before now. It didn't react until I drew on it. Oh. Mr. Scaredy Cat came back. Now, there's a wolf that used to be over there, but it should be safely dead. If I can get onto a tree, I might be able. Yeah, there's a tree stump over here I can get on, at which point they ignore me. Oh! That's unexpected. Found this out, what was it, yesterday? There's one of these logs you can climb on. And if you do that, they pretend like you don't exist. Yeah, this one. If you climb up here, yeah, they behave like you're not here. One poor wolf got an arrow in its nether quarters and ran off, taking my arrow with it. Right. What? TLD on DOS settings run on a TLD computer. Okay. I'm not sure that translates for me. It's got pretty low graphics requirements by modern standards, so while I would never say it'll run on a potato, it will do tolerably well. I think you are my first Estonian viewer that I'm aware of. Well, they appear to have done me the courtesy of going away. I mean, given taking your question seriously, because I don't get the joke, given that I'm running at max and it's only using 50% of my 9070 card, not counting how much I'm using for streaming, it will run on probably quite an old computer. I mean, it'll run on the laptop that I've got there, with some fiddling. And that laptop is, what, 6 years old, I think? I mean, it doesn't exactly run at 60 frames a second, but I think I can fettle it so that it will. Now, in this particular region, I have so far shot 2 wolves. So, cross fingers, they have the courtesy to stay shot. I'm just going to check the ptarmigan patch out on the grounds of why not. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, yeah, you don't necessarily want to know what the worst that could happen is. Oh, you're kidding. You're supposed to be dead. You're not dead, are you? Oh, yes, thank you. Take the ptarmigan. How many ptarmigan have I taken from wolves now? Is it 2 or 3? Oh, I see what you mean. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay, gotcha. No. Don't think so. Computers in this game are, well, they've got floppy disk drives, for starters. So that really ages them. Hey, Tony. Yeah, I mean, those... Yeah, the computers in the game, they sort of... What, Windows 98, Windows ME era, maybe? Windows XP? So my guess would be no, they probably couldn't. When was the last time anybody saw a floppy disk drive on a computer? I mean, a new computer. It's been... Oh, grief. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, let me see. When I was working in Tucson, that was when I was mid-30s to early 40s. Did we have... No, we switched over to laptops instead of desktops, and the laptops didn't have floppy drives. So 2013, yeah. Which is when this game came out, of course. Everybody, you are not to start calling Tony Tont, okay? Let's not do that. Oh no, I don't want to use the hacksaw. Okay, I am not heading for the ravine now. I'll do that in the morning. Did I leave water behind here? I think I did, didn't I?
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Oh, look. Cured deer hide. Cured deer hide. Yes, that's what we want. Yep, I did leave water. Let's have a little look. Yeah, look, that is a 3.5-inch floppy drive and a CD-ROM drive. When was the last time I saw a CD-ROM in a computer? Now that was... I was going to say, no, that was 10 years ago. I've forgotten. I'm nearly 60, so... Grief. After we switched over to laptops, I don't think the laptops had a CD. Did our laptops in Tucson have CD-ROM drives? They might have done. But I'm by no means certain about that. I mean, yeah, that style there is sort of very Windows 95. Looks like the first one I built. In fact, I'm trying to remember. The first computer I built, which I ran Windows ME on. Unlike most people, I actually liked ME. You're kidding me, I haven't searched the drawers? Oh, I'm sure they're still around. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you could still buy new floppy disk drives and new CD-ROM drives. There is definitely going to be a market for that, simply because of the huge amounts of information that have been stored on floppy disks over the years. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could still buy brand new 5¼ inch floppies. I would be somewhat surprised if you could buy 8-inch floppies, because those haven't been around since... Grief, when did I'm trying to remember if I ever saw an 8-inch floppy drive. I think I might have done, but that would have been in the late 80s, early 90s. Do I need to... Yeah, okay. Yes, I do need to repair those. The first monitor I bought myself, that wasn't, part of the computer, or part of the, it weighed 70 pounds. It was a big old 24-inch CRT. It was massive. And I actually bought it for use with my Sega Dreamcast second-hand, because the Sega Dreamcast would output a VGA signal. Made the games look great. And I think it was a 1600 by 1200 resolution screen. I think it was a ViewSonic. I got it second-hand for $400. Had that thing for ages. There's a picture somewhere of my son standing next to it. It's bigger than he is. And my son was less than 2 at the time. But that wasn't when I bought it. By the time my son was born, I'd owned that monitor for a very long time. I'm assuming you don't mean you can hear geese outside in the game, because that would be amusing but improbable. So I have 20 ptarmigan down. Okay, that's enough for several trades. I've got 1 cured deer hide left. I'm going to have to go deer hunting back in Coastal Highway. Bit overladen, but not too bad. I'm all repaired. I've got a new whetstone. I've got a new fire striker. Yay. I could stay in the cave, just for fun, I might just stay in the cave, in the ravine for a while, do some harvesting. I've never tried doing that. I've never actually tried to stay and survive in the ravine. That might be interesting. Just for a change, Yes. Yes. I never actually owned one, but I do remember them. Yeah, one of the old Ataris, that classic old Atari joystick with one button on the joystick, yeah. And you used composite. Oh, wow, yeah, you didn't have the antenna connection. I can't remember if I ever used the antenna connection on a computer. I don't think so. I did use composite video and audio, which I once did a long article on all the various types of video connection and their various strengths. I think it was called composite. You had 3 cables. One was for audio and 2 of video. I think that was right. But yeah, there was the old antenna connection, which plugged into the antenna of your TV, the antenna socket, and everything went through there. Terrible, terrible signal. The old Pong systems back in the 70s. In fact, a lot of the early a lot of the early, a lot of the very early consoles, they had an antenna connection. Composite was a significant step up. Then there was S-Video, which I never saw. I don't think I ever used an S-Video connection. And then there was component video, which was for a long time about the best you could get. Unless you... after component video, which was pretty much the best you could get, there was RGB, but not a lot of system support. I did use what was called Japanese RGB, but that was for... I actually passed the signal into a line doubler, which converted a interlaced component video or Japanese RGB signal to VGA. We used those few of us that were really, really keen on that kind of thing used to import a device from Japan called the RGB2, and then its successor, the RGB3, which were highly effective, cost-effective line doubling systems. My console setup was nightmarish. But if you wanted the best in video quality, that's what you did with a console. And then, of course, consoles started supporting VGA, at which point all the old stuff went out the window. First console I'm aware of that would natively support VGA as you bought it was the Dreamcast. You could get a VGA cable for the Dreamcast. There were a few games on the PlayStation 2 that supported VGA. I think there were some games on the first Xbox that supported VGA. And at that point, those of us who were specialists in getting their consoles to work on a computer monitor, our hobby was out the window.
Time to look for shelter.
After that, no, everything supported VGA. Oh, the GameCube, which supported something called D-Terminal, which was, I can't remember whether that was an RGB or component video, but you could actually get that rewired for VGA. You could actually get a D-Terminal cable that would be rewired for VGA. So that was GameCube. So, yeah. Those were the first 3 that in some way, shape or form would support VGA. And so now your computer monitor became a viable display for your gaming systems. Right.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Yeah, long time ago, I actually wrote a newsletter for people who were interested in the use of line doublers and this kind of thing and the various options. Oh my goodness, that once got me this close to getting a job in Hong Kong, too, strangely enough. I should have taken it, but I didn't. I should have done. but that company in question got shut down by Sony. So, yeah. There are ways of playing GameCube games on a computer, but if I start detailing them, Nintendo will get irritated at me, and I don't wish to have that happen. And those methods actually work quite well. The primary legal requirement is that you actually own a copy of the game. So, yeah. But yeah, Nintendo being the profoundly litigious company that they are, yeah, uh, yeah. But no, like I say, there are ways of doing it, and they work quite well. Um, so you can relive your old experience, but as I say, in principle, you need to have a physical copy of the game. But people on YouTube have gotten into serious trouble, or even talking about such things. Yes, yeah, yeah, you definitely should. Yeah, I recommend you look into dolphins. The cetaceans, of course. I'm not referring to anything else. Right, I have got to take a quick break, so I will be back in a couple of minutes. Yes, that's an understandable reaction. A lot of YouTubers who had previously talked about subjects Nintendo considered to be verboten essentially stopped doing it. Um, yeah. And the funny thing is, Nintendo's better now than they used to be about some things, if you can believe that. Oh, that's nice. Hello, Mum's cat. What's your mum's cat's name? It's not Misfit, that's somebody else's cat, isn't it? Can anybody else hear a blizzard outside?
This pack is getting
heavy. Nope. But it is very cold. Lola. Hello, Lola. I am not going wandering into the ravine when the temperatures are not quite plummeting, but close enough. You know, I am tempted to head for the ravine anyway, but I do not think I'm going to. I will essay a little walk outside, but as safe as the ravine is, I do not necessarily want to brave particularly cold weather. If I wait an hour or so, it should get warmer anyway. Either that or it'll settle into a full blizzard. And as Donnie knows, my experience with blizzards in the ravine. Yeah. Left something to be desired. But I'll take enough food with me to get to the cave, and it shouldn't matter if I smell too much, because the ravine is literally just over there. Oh wow. Well, that is getting on. Yeah, we are going to literally just pass some time, hope that this gets warmer, and continue on our journey.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Right. That sounds a little better. Much better. I'm a bit overladen, and I won't need all that food with
Too
me.
heavy to carry.
But like I say, I might, just for the fun of it, do a bit of survival in the ravine. I've never actually stayed in the ravine. I normally just pass through. I've never really given it a good explore. So we shall dash for the ravine. Can't remember. I don't know. Are there any man-made structure? Well, I say man-made structures. Yes, there's the trestle bridge. Are there any man-made buildings in the ravine?
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Right. So, in principle at least, for the benefit of those who don't know, this is the safest, or one of the safest areas in terms of wildlife in the game. As far as I'm aware, there are no wolves, no bears, no cougar. Don't think there's any moose. There's wabbits. Did anyone else but me hear ptarmigan noises? Should have brought snares, I suppose. Trapped. I did not. I think I'm correct in saying I didn't bring snares, right? But then when I started out, I wasn't intending maybe trying to stay here for a bit. Yeah, we've got rabbit, we've got deer. And I haven't forgotten about the necessity to find a rope. The best place I can think of for staying in this region is in the cave. I don't think there's anywhere suitable for fishing, although I will give that a try. I knew I'd done something like that. Yeah. Emergency food and vitamin C. I think I've stayed in the cave sort of overnight, and I know at one point I stayed in one of the or next to, I should say, one of the train cars, carriages. There you go. It's a carriage. For a second there, I thought, oh no, please don't tell me. No, all good. Yeah, it might be interesting to have a bit of an explore in this region. Because I'm not technically in any rush, am I? Normally this is somewhere I pass through on the way to somewhere else, rather than stop and smell the roses. Or I suppose I should say rose hips. So I'm not fully au fait, that is, familiar with the possibilities here. Plenty of firewood. Did not properly think this out. Like I said, I was just going to go to the cave, check and see if I could find the rope, and then move on. But why not stay a while? Doesn't do me any harm to do so. Might be quite relaxing. Needless to say, down here somewhere is the way to Bleak Inlet. Which we will be going to, so I can try and find the woodworking tools and reload ammunition. And there's a second revolver, pretty much guaranteed to be in this region. I think. I hope. Check them out. Oh, that's interesting. You can use the corpse as a container. But whatever you do, don't fall off the log. That is contraindicated. Should have brought more water with me, arguably, but still. We'll find the cave, which should be sort of up and around here somewhere. I think I've checked this box out. Yeah, check that. I tell you what, some strange reason, making the decision to stay here for a bit rather than just dash through has made me strangely content, and I don't know why. I mean, I was going to go to the cave anyway, because there should be a rope in it. And I do need the rope, but I will drop it over the edge at the appropriate place. Here's the cave. Now look at this. And somebody left me a revolver cartridge. How nice of them. There's the rope. Great. And there should be a bed somewhere back here. Where's the bed? I know there's a bed back here. Oh, drat. I was hoping that I could use the old one. I thought there was a bed here. Somebody back me up. Isn't there supposed to be a bed? Oh, come off it. What am I missing? Yeah, I could... yeah, during that infamous period where I started out here, Blizzard didn't have a bedroll with me type situation. I didn't realize there was a bed present, but I am not seeing it anywhere. Oh, this is getting completely silly. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe the bed isn't always here. Maybe I was correct last time when I didn't stay. Well, we shall nonetheless hook up some water. Yes, I think I can, but I don't need to. I don't think. I've got a bearskin bedroll. Hi, Anna. Decided to spend some quality time in the ravine. Slightly hampered. The rope is here, which is a good thing. But I can't find the bed that's supposedly in here. But right, I'm dreadfully sorry about this, but once again, caffeine is rushing through my system in a way I do not wish it to. So I will quickly take a break to take care of my bladder, and I shall return. See you all in a couple of minutes. let's check the official wiki. I mean, we found the rope, so that's good. Instant death barrier. Locations. There are 2 warm caves. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Near the entrance to Bleak Inlet at the ravine basin is a cave with a leaf bed inside it. And I am squinting at the cave here. And if I'm reading that correctly, there should be a bed here. Because I'm in that one. The other cave is, over that way. Oh, there's a bed in the other cave, not this one. Okay, I'm at the wrong cave. Apparently. For a bed. Apparently there is not a bed in this one. Right. Okay, so in the morning, what I will do is take the rope to the climbing spot, drop that over so I don't have to carry it, go find the other cave, and yes.
It's dusk, so that can't be far behind.
Nope. And I did bring more food than I technically needed. Alright, let's see. I'm glad you're okay. Is it Thanksgiving? I didn't realize. I didn't think I was insane. But part of my memory says, ah yes, I found a bed in here before, but I'm guessing not. So what do I know? Oh, tomorrow is. Yes, I think it does. Yeah, there's no reason why it wouldn't, but I think it would. Yeah, you probably could play it on a cathode ray tube. Don't see why it wouldn't. Hang on a second. Let's have a little look at the visuals display. Yes, it does. The 640 by 480 is 4 by 3, so yeah, it does. Oh no. Sorry about that. I hope it doesn't hurt too much. I am in a cave at the ravine. You can just see the entrance. It is apparently classed as a warm cave. Although looking at that, someone's definition of a warm cave is a bit dubious. One of them, yeah.
What do you know?
Apparently there's two. I will try and find the other one. So what I am going to do is grab the rope, go to the climbing point, drop that off. It's not too chilly out here. Yeah, there's the rope. So I will drop some stuff. Although she's still going to be fairly overloaded. I ought to drop some of the food.
This'll come in handy.
Everybody remember where we stopped off, so yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Well, that was... how much is that? Does that weigh? Yeah, 5 kilograms. I thought that was 10 kilograms. Okay, that's not too bad. So, we will go to the drop-off point, attach the rope, find the other cave. Of course, I just did something potentially silly, didn't I? But if I can... I left my bearskin bedroll in the cave. Specifically because I intend to return to it. In fact, what I will do, just to be on the safe side, is once I drop this rope off, I will go back and get everything else. I just wanted to be able to move with a modicum of alacrity. Can I not get back? Are you kidding me? Oh, I need to go round that way. My bad. What keyboard do I use? It is a Newfi 75 something or other. Hang on a moment. I can show you. It is that. Hall effect and all the rest of it. Best keyboard I think I've ever used. Oh, come on. me climb up. Bastard thing. I actually forget what model I've got. Hang on a second. It is the Newfi Field 75. That's what it is. I like it. Like I say, in my view, it is one of the best keyboards, if not the best keyboard I have ever used. Oh, you're kidding me. Can I get up here? Ah, there we go. So, I love it. It's not cheap, though. That's just one thing you should bear in mind. I can't remember how much it was. It was not cheap. Oh, that's a matter of personal choice. I haven't used an old IBM mechanical in a very, very long time. They are fantastic keyboards, but I haven't used one in 30 years, maybe longer. I find them too clacky from what I remember, but they are very good keyboards. Yeah. Okay, this is what I'm after. There are people who still use the old IBMs. I think you can even buy new ones these days. Where is the other cave? Apparently it should be around here somewhere. Yeah, this one is not too clacky. I don't know if you can hear it when I'm using it. It's not silent by any means, but it is... Oh, come on. Where's the other cave? Okay, now, I don't have the map up in front of me right now, but from what I recall, it should be, I think, down this way somewhere. Okay, it really doesn't want me going up there, does it? I mean, that's a hard stop. Yep. Huh. Alright, hang on a moment. I'm going to cheat. Gasp, shock, horror. Oh, okay, I'm wrong. That's the two Bleak. Oh, wait a second. There's that. Huh. Alright, if we assume that that's the climbing point, it should be... Oops, sorry. So there's the climbing area. And it should be back along here, maybe. But not as far as the branch. I can't tell for sure, but it might be on the other side of this ravine. Yeah. The only game I've ever played where that was a feature was Duke Nukem 3D. Yes, indeed it would. Okay, according to the map, hang on, according to this here map, there's the crossover point. There's the... Do you know what? I think you have to climb down to get to it. Yeah. I'm pretty certain you have to climb down to get to that one. Doesn't change the fact that I thought there was a bed in this cave, but apparently there isn't. But we will have a good, thorough explore of the region while I can. Simply because I never really have had the time or luxury of doing so. I don't know. I've never found a moose hide satchel. I've only ever made it. Yeah, I think the other cave is down there somewhere. Yes, there it is. It's down there. Okay, that explains it. I can't remember if I've ever stayed in that cave. No. Should there be? Are we talking about the same place? Don't I remember you telling me that you could find the moose hide satchel in Ash Canyon? Hush River Valley. Have I played Kona? What is Kona? Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Hello, rabbit. I'm just doing me an explore. No. No, I haven't played it at all. I must confess, I have clearly not even heard of it. Surprisingly, I don't have a huge amount of time to play all the games I might like to. And then my choices are often determined by, can I stream it? Then, do I have time? You know, I do 3 streams a day and everybody kind of expects me to do what I'm doing at the moment, so if I were to break that pattern, I would have to find some way of fitting everybody's expectations in. You know, Long Dark is a fixture at this time of the morning. In the evening, pretty much Warframe. First thing in the morning is not scheduled, even though I almost always do one during the week. That one could be subject to change. I could do something else for that. In fact, I think I used to... Yeah, I need to get back into Armored Core Fires of Rubicon, and that would be a first thing in the morning game, but I need to get some practice in before I restart that. I did want to get into the Sleeping City, and started streaming that. I did 2 streams of that. One where I had to fix the game and then restarted. And then, yeah, everything else kind of took over. So, yeah, that's not happening. Which is a shame, because it's an interesting game. But again, I only have a limited amount of time per day to do anything like that. I'm surprised, with all these birch trees around, there are no sticks. Birch sticks, of course, not jack sticks in general. Oh, grief. For half a second, once again, I saw the snout and thought, wolf? Ah, remember what I said about sticks? Sticks! Multiple sticks. Hello? No, I'm going to go back to Coastal Highway first. Oh, that was unexpected. Another cave. How about that? Yeah, no, I want to finish off one of my trades for rifle ammunition. But there's no bed in here either, at least not that I can see.
I'll take it. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Don't worry, I'll be going to Bleak Inlet at some point. You just want me to get into a firefight with timber wolves. Again. This is actually a cozy little spot, if that cave isn't too cold. In case anybody's wondering, yeah, I do. Yeah, I know that's the primary reason. In case anybody's wondering, today's quote comes from the Devil's Dictionary. Well, it's Ambrose Bierce at any rate. I've started using his quotes because he comes up with some nice pithy stuff. The only problem with using quotes is they have to fit into 100 characters or less. But yeah, no. I fully intend to go to Bleak Inlet to get tools. Do not worry on that score. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Oh! Trapped.
Come on, little fire. Perfect. Feels like night is coming.
Oh, did I leave my can behind at the other place? Oh. I left my... oh well.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer. I'm gonna need to rest soon.
Yeah, I don't know how warm this particular cave is, which is why I got the firewood. Whoops. Which is right there, so... I left my can. Yes, I did. Right. And we are coming up at the point where I now have to go and start thinking about lunch. Well, if there's a blizzard outside and I am not freezing to death, then one might well reach the conclusion that this is actually a warm cave. Oh, well, not that warm apparently. A warm-ish cave. Yes, definitely better than forgetting the pot. Ah, it is... It's a fun game. Well, I'm not quite gone yet, but I will be. Shortly. Ooh. This is a minor challenge. Right. Deer hunting tomorrow, I think. So, first things first.
Looks like a new day is
If
done.
Dave and Christoph would care to leave a like and a subscribe, that would be nice. I would appreciate it. And anybody else. You don't have to. It's optional. I'm just saying. Seeing as you're both new and participated in the conversation. There will be obviously more Long Dark tomorrow at 0900 hours Greenwich Mean Time. If you feel like something with a little bit less relaxation, more grind, Then I stream The Long Dark. Sorry, I stream Warframe at 1900 hours Greenwich Mean Time. And I often do a very early morning live stream as well, at 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. And if everybody is subscribed and hits the click bell button, if YouTube behaves, you will get notifications when I go live. I should try and make that announcement on Discord. I do announce it actually in the Long Dark Discord page for that purpose. So, but I did not envisage at the beginning of this live stream that I would end up spending time in the ravine. So that made a change. So, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to have the company in chat. I will see you all next time. I hope you all have a very good day.